And what's kind of been put towards me was that conservatism is like America's answer, or like if Trump had won, that America would be saved.
Oh, no.
Like that sort of thing.
Absolutely not.
So I guess my issue sort of is, let's say like conservatives and liberals are both really hard and set on their views, right? But they both have aspects of Christianity or values, I would say. Whereas, of course, conservatives are pro-life and, all that. And liberals tend to, the Bible talks a lot about being kind to foreigners and how you treat.
The Bible being a lot, what was that?
Being kind to foreigners.
Okay.
The Lord talks about being kind to foreigners, and he tells the Israelites that, remember that they were foreigners in Egypt.
Yep.
And so I can see that there are values that God places very highly on both sides. And what's been going on a lot in the church, at least in my experience, is that we're just being divided more and more and going like to each extreme, which sort of gets away eventually from Christianity, I think, on both sides of the extremes. So I guess my issue with what I heard you say was that, and what's kind of been put towards me was that conservatism is like America's answer, or like if Trump had won, that America would be saved.
Oh, no.
Like that sort of thing.
Absolutely not. No, see, now we're mixing up theology and politics again here. And I think that our theology ought to inform our politics. But a lot of times we have the same end, we want to say help the poor, but we have different means of doing it. Okay? So a conservative is going to say, we've got to make the economy better because a rising tide lifts all boats, where a liberal will generally say, no, we just got to give government handouts. Okay? And so we're both trying to help the poor, but we just have a different means to an end. So sometimes that's the issue. I don't think conservatives would say we ought to be unkind to foreigners. What they might say, conservative might say, is, well, Jerusalem had walls, right? Borders were part of the Bible. Borders are part of life in general. I mean, you have a lock on your door, right? Everyone has borders. The only question is, where do you put the borders? And how many people can you let into your nation? And that's an issue for the legislature and the president, and the people elect the legislature and the president, and they have to come to some reasonable conclusion there. I don't think whether you're a liberal or conservative is going to dictate necessarily whether or not you ought to be kind to foreigners. I think both liberals and conservatives would agree with that. The question is, how does that come out in policy in the political world? And we can debate that.